sometimes organizations come to us just for a day because we're so close to Manila. It's we're like an hour and a half away from Makati. Some people just come to us for a day, and that would cost you about 750 pesos. Meals, including all the activities, about 750.
Very nice, very nice. Now let's talk about team building in general. We touched upon it briefly, but there are criticisms of team building, and as far as companies wanting to maybe slow down a little bit as far as their costs this year. A lot of companies may say, I don't need to do team building, I don't need to go out there and spend for it. From your perspective, I mean, of course, from your perspective, it is very beneficial, but it's also, why can't they let it go? Why can't companies let this cost go?
First, I think harmony in the workplace is very important to Filipinos. I think as Filipinos, we perform better when we're incentivized as a team rather than being incentivized as individuals.
And you just get along with people. You look forward to it.
It's all inherent in our
culture.
Culture. There's that bayanihan way of doing things. And if you have in a time of crisis, for instance, in 2009, they say it's going to be a difficult year for most organizations. That's the time when you really have to maximize the capabilities of the existing teams that you have. And of course, always in any organization, the relationships evolve. So it doesn't mean that after doing it once, there's no need to do it again, because you know our relationships are in a constant flux. We evolve as individuals, we evolve as organizations as well.
Right. Okay. That's definitely wonderful things to keep in mind, especially for companies that may be tuned in. It's the start of the 2009 year, and hopefully there's a bright future ahead despite everything that we've been hearing. One way to do it is the team building. Thank you for joining us, Sylvia and Wawel. We'll have maybe a couple questions for you guys later on in the show.
Okay.
Your questions and comments right after the break. Please stay tuned. Shop Talk will be right back. Welcome back to Shop Talk. I'm Ginger Conejero, sitting in for Pia Ontiveros. We are still talking about team building, and we are again joined by John Gillespie of Team Org, Wawel Mercado, and Sylvia Insyong. Both are from the Forest Club. All right, we have a couple questions for our viewers who are watching about team building. From Jerome of Quezon City, in what ways are the team building activities of Team Org military in nature? John?
I think what we tried to do is we tried to make it as realistic as possible. Ginger, we try to incorporate the military. We even get them to wear the cream if they want to.
Really?
Yeah, we get them to, and we've also incorporated another project where they can use guns, where we get people who can use the paint pellets. But what we can do is we can incorporate it where we can use the laser guns. So first of all, it doesn't limit the amount of ammunition that you can get, and we can create this in any environment that we go. It doesn't matter the venue. We can bring this is transportable, and we bring it with us. We charge them up, and we turn it into a real live kind of exercise.
All right. You could also have water guns.
Yeah, water guns.
So it's not as painful. All right, and over from Tony of Pasig, what's the ideal size for a team building session? I have a small business with about 25 employees. Well, go ahead. Why don't you take
I think the ideal size is to involve everyone. We, at least as far as our organization is concerned, we can work with whatever number you have as an organization. If you come to us with 25, we're fine with that. We'll work with 25. I think there's an ideal size. If the organization is too large, then you break them up into smaller groups.
But not too small.
Right.
That's not too much of a
Right.
problem.
25 would be very, very good. It's a good number because it will enable everyone to speak out.
Okay.
And that's the problem if it's a very, very big group. All the madaldals will dominate the discussions.
Making chismes in the corner.
That's right. And
Right.
the bigger group, subgroups will be formed. And essentially, it's not the objective of the initiative.
Okay. One very quick question. What safety measures does Team Org have for activities outside of Manila?
Okay, if we're going to use a venue, first of all, we have technical people who will come with us, depending on the type of team building that we're going to do. And all our technical officers are highly qualified in the aspects of what we do. We make sure that we have fully qualified medics with us who can come along and treat anyone. But not only that, before we do that, what the first thing we do is we send a questionnaire to the corporate company to make sure that we don't have anybody with, you know, heart problems or back problems. When it all comes back, then we qualify them to make sure who can take part, and we always leave it to the client and obviously the person involved. But what we have to do is we have to make sure we're going to a venue. We make sure the venue are well covered, that they have a medical supply there, and most of our people are medically trained anyway.
Okay, good to know. And over from Grace of Makati, if we will ask Forest Club's facilitators to handle our team building, how can we discuss our company's objectives with them? Sylvia or Wawel?
There's essentially, of course, we can visit them, definitely, and then we can discuss one-on-one with them. And then, of course, the follow-ups can be done either by phone calls or through email. But the bottom line is we engage with the company or the organization before we craft a program depending on the number of days they would want to run a team building initiative.
Okay, and of course they could always get in contact or look at for more information at theforestclub.com.
Right. www.theforestclub.com, and then our booking office is 376-4623. That's the Manila number.
So Grace could call that line also.
Right.
There's another question for Miss Sylvia. How do you address those who are not open to joining the activities? I have an office mate who is always negative about these things.
Okay. In a team building initiative, if it's going to be outdoors, outside the four walls of the office, then people get more interested to join. We have had team building activities lately when 2 or 3 participants, I think, didn't want to join the activities. But because there was a wide range of activities, both indoor and outdoors, these persons joined in some.
Right.
So what we did, we tried to really encourage the person to join. And there was one activity where those 3 persons didn't join. And when they were having their meals, everybody was talking about it, so they didn't have any stories to share. They didn't have any stories to tell. So the next activity, they got interested.
They got interested.
That's
All right.
right.
We'll quickly go through some other questions from Willie Oy for Miss Sylvia. We are a small business in Samar with 20 people. How much would it cost to have a day of team building here, and how can we contact you?
You can contact me through Forest Club, and I also have my mobile phone, which I can share with you later. But definitely in terms of costing, since it's going to be in summer, then we can go to your place
Okay.
and devise the program together.
Okay.
Yeah.
And from iCorpus, what are the contact details of Team Org and the Forest Club? Go ahead, John.
It is teamorg.net, which is our website, www.teamorg.net, or you can contact us at sales@teamorg.net, 631-9825.
Right. That's right. And Sylvia and Wawel.
So it's www.theforestclub.com. That's our website. Very comprehensive information up there. And our booking office, 376-4623.
Wonderful. Before we go, do you guys want to add anything?